Students, we have already started the fifth chapter, Periodic Classification of Elements. In this chapter, you already studied different types of arrangement of elements using Dobrynin's triad, Mendeleev's periodic table, and Newland law of octaves. Today, we are going to study the modern periodic table in which the elements are arranged according to their atomic number. In 1913, Henry Moseley showed that the atomic number of an element is a more fundamental property than its atomic mass. Moseley arranged periodic table on the basis of atomic number. The most commonly used modern periodic table is sometimes called long form periodic table. The long form periodic table lists many properties of the elements so that the chemist can check them at the correct position or can identify the property of elements properly. Modern periodic law states that properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic number. Modern periodic table contains 18 vertical columns known as groups and 7 horizontal rows known as periods. Elements in a group have same number of valence electrons. As we already told, modern periodic table is very important tool for chemists and scientists and also for students to study and understand the properties of elements arranged in it. In periodic table of elements, elements are arranged from left to right and top to bottom in increasing order of atomic number. You already know what is an atomic number. Atomic number is the number of elements which is indicated by the number of protons of the element. That is, atomic number is equal to the proton number. Students, just observe this table. In this table, you can see that elements are arranged horizontally and vertically. The horizontal arrangement of elements are called periods. That is, 7 periods are there in a periodic table. From left to right, it continues. Then again 18 groups are arranged vertically. That is, from top to bottom. This is the 2 category of arrangement of elements in a periodic table. That is, 18 groups and 7 periods are present. Students, there are more than 118 elements in a periodic table and we can study how they are arranged in it in the correct order. In your textbook, table 5.6 represents modern periodic table or long form periodic table. And we can see elements are arranged in a particular manner according to their increasing atomic number. When you observe this period, we can see that vertical columns are there and horizontal rows are there. Totally 18 groups are there which are arranged vertical and 7 periods are there which are arranged horizontally. So, as we studied, elements are arranged according to the increasing atomic number. So, first element is hydrogen, second helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, etc. And here the different colors are given for making you identify the type of the elements. This green color represents the metals. All are metals in this area. So, left side represents the metals. And this pink color represents the metalloids. It is given in a zigzag manner. They are separated from metals and non-metals. You studied what is a metalloid. Metalloids are elements having intermediate properties of metals and non-metals. So they are arranged in between in a zigzag manner. And this side yellow portion represents the non-metals. You have already studied what is the difference between metals, metalloids and non-metals. This is the basic arrangement of elements in the modern periodic table. Who is the father of modern periodic table? It is Henry Moseley who arranged elements on the increasing order of atomic number in 1940. So we can study what is the relation between atomic number and position of elements in a periodic table. Next we can study what is the relation of atomic number with period and groups. First take the first element, hydrogen. You know its atomic number is 1 and it is having 1 electron. That electron is occupied in the first shell. Coming to the second element of the first group, you know it is lithium. It is having atomic number 3. So how is the configuration? It is 2, 1. Third element is sodium and the electronic configuration is 2, 8, 1. Potassium is 19. How we will write? 2, 8, 8, 1. Isn't it? So when you are checking the atomic number and its electronic configuration, you found that outermost shell is having 1 electron each. So when we are going down a group, we can see that the number of valence electrons will be equal to the group number. So here the valence electron is 1. So it is coming under group 1. Likewise all the groups. Second group means its valence electron will be 2. Third group means it will be 3. Here 4 likewise. Here it is actually group 13, but we will consider it as group 3. Here it is a different section of metals. They are called transition metals or transition elements, and that we are not considering now. We have to study like in this order from group 1 to group 18. Here it is group 13. But here after this we want to consider this only. No need to think about the electronic configuration of these transition elements now. Okay. So what I told, according to the valence electron, group number can be determined. And when we are going down, you understood that number of shells is increasing. Then coming across a period. Coming across a period, you understood that hydrogen and helium are having only 1 shell. Coming to the second period, you found that it is having electronic configuration 2, 1, 2, 2, then 2, 3 likewise. But the number of shells is not increasing. Shell number will be the same. Okay. So second period means shell number will not increase. It will be having 2 shells. Understood? So this is the common techniques you want to study to determine the position of elements. You have already studied that the outer shell of an atom is called the valence shell and the electrons in it are called valence electrons. Elements in a given group have the same number of valence electrons and as a result they have similar chemical properties. The atomic number of the element increases as we go down the group. Thus, the elements placed lower have more electrons. To accommodate these electrons, new shells are added to the atom. These new shells take the outermost electrons farther from the nucleus, causing atomic size to increase as we go down the group. The shells containing electrons that is far from the nucleus is called the valence shell. The number of electron shells with electrons is the same as the period number. Atoms will try to gain or lose electrons to have a full valence shell. So we can conclude the arrangement of elements in a group and period. In a group, elements are in a vertical column. The elements or family of elements are related but will not be identical in properties. They have the same number of valence electrons in their outer shell, but their shell number will increase as the atomic number increases as we go down a group. The group number is equal to the number of valence electrons. That is the important point. The group number is equal to the number of valence electrons. If you know this point, you can identify the element is present in which group or in which period. Coming to the period, we already told that there are 7 periods in a periodic table. The rows on the periodic table are called periods. The atomic number of each element increases by 1 as you read from left to right across each period. The physical and chemical properties also change as you move left to right across a period. The number of shells will not increase across a period, but the valence shell electron will increase. Recall that the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a shell depends on the formula 2n square, where n is the number of given shell from the nucleus. So, if n is equal to 1, in the first shell we can accommodate 2 electrons, second shell 8 electrons, third shell 18 electrons and fourth shell 32 electrons. So, when we are going across a period, we can see that the first period 2 elements are there. Second period 8 elements are there. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh period 8, 18, 18, 32 and 32 elements are present respectively. So the reason for this, it will be detailed study in higher classes. So in this class you want to understand that in the first period there are 2 elements, second period there are 18 elements and so on. Have you ever thought what is the reason for chemical reactivity of elements that you studied last year? The elements are combining to form compounds or molecules to become octet or to attain stability. So what is octet rule? Atoms tend to gain, lose or share one or more of their valence electrons to achieve a filled outer electron shell. Atoms are more stable if they have a filled or empty outer layer of electrons. Except for hydrogen and helium, a filled layer contains 8 electrons and they are octet. Atoms will gain or lose or share to form different compounds like ionic compounds and covalent compounds, and they are joining together to form compounds in order to make a filled or empty outer layer so that it will be attained stability. So the elements are having high reactivity depending on the valence electrons present in that respective element. So what causes reactivity of elements? All atoms want to have a completely full valence shell, that is normally 8 electrons. For example, noble gases are already completed with 8 electrons in their outer shell. Noble gases means elements present in 18th group. So they are not reactive, or they are called inert gases. So elements join with other elements to form compounds in order to attain stability or to obey octet rule.